So this is Baruch Fleischman. I'm here at the Tikkun elevator Kollel again, and we're about to get into the elevator. Take a look at the Rav. I can tell you how important it is to really know all of these different ideas, or just to be able to hear them, because we understand like this a learning, according to the system of Rebbe Nachman the Breslov. We learn the outsides first. So first you have to hear the concepts, you have to know them, and then as you go along, they repeat and insert themselves in different places. Now, we've learned that the rabbis refer to the world in which we live as the Olam Ha-Ofanim. It's the world of the wheels. So wheels really means changes, but I'll just physically look at the world and see what the world would be moving like if there were no wheels. But this also refers to changes in cycles. Cycles means that things don't stay the same. I don't want to really understand what's going on, because if we have, say, real success one day in learning a shtickle Torah, or a real beautiful situation happens with us in our lives, that it's going to stay like that, we can keep it, but you can't. It's in and out, in and out, in and out. So this is what we're going to see about how the world of wheels and how the worlds of constant changes have to do with our tefillah. I'll do the best I can to translate this. We're on number Yud Base. Once again, we have shown this before. This is the Tivuk Kavanos al Shara Kavanos. It's a drush where we're beginning Shabbos here, and this is called Shinui Tefillos. So we're going to talk about differences of what goes on. Imagine this word as the world turns. So Amnam, we see like this. Here we are right here. Ba'olamos al yodim, in the upper worlds. Ha'amnam kol zeh hu b'bechinas pratis. So when we look at the specific aspects of, that's what we're talking about. This is what the Rav says. We'll try to pick up the idea of what he's talking about. He says, Kol hashinuyim sheyesh b'tefillah, all the changes that happen in prayer. So, for example, v'chein b'kriyas shema. So you have a kriyas shema in the morning, you have a kriyas shema at night. So he's a bein yom zeh liyom acher. But he says, like, say, between the one you do on Tuesday and the one you do on Wednesday. V'chein bein called tefillah, then also between every tefillah, ba'osa yom. So there's a difference between shachris and mincha. Kol hachiluk b'neihem. So, but what are the differences in these prayers? Who rak bepratis is only in some specific aspect of it. Now, I'm not sure that I understand that. It's not spelled out 100%, but I'm going to read on. So this is what he means. He means that the action that takes place is causing a unity in the upper worlds, which sends down bracha. So as a result of that, so he says, she'kenegdam al yedei hu yom zeh b'shvua. And there's also different aspects. Let me read again. I got out of place. He said, that is, there are yichudim that take place and bring down the light, as what I was saying before. Nigram, which causes ayidei shuhu yom zeh b'shvua. So the specific type of yichud that takes place happens as a result of the day of the week. Nigram ayidei shuhu yom zeh b'shvua. Say, for example, today is Wednesday, so today is the day of Natsach. Nigram ayidei shuhu yom zeh b'shvua. That's what we said. Yom zecha b'chodesh. Or we talk about, so this is also which day of the week is today. I don't know right now. I forgot. Well, yesterday was the 10th, so this is the 10th, 11th day of Tevis. There we go. Then also, like we said, this is the 4th day of the week. It's also the 11th day of the month. And so this is also, depending how you count, this would be either the 9th month, or this could be, depending on going the other way around, it could be the 3rd month. So I don't know exactly where we're at. Amnan Kedera Klal, but we look at it in general like this. And excuse me, I was thinking of the solar months. This is either the 10th month, because this would be Capricorn in the lunar month, or it would be also it would either be the 10th month or it would be the 4th month. So going on, let's see what else we have to say here. So this is what we just read. Let's go to number Yud Gimel. Amnam b'derech haklal. So we look at this in general. Yisbar lifnim, that's about Be'ezus Hashem, and this is what we're going to talk about. Generally, what's going on, or what I see. I like the word kavanah to mean the direction. Where are we aiming? What do we want to accomplish with our prayer? Also explained up above. We talked about this some. Ech kol ha-kriya shema. How is it that every single kriya shema, v'kol ha-tefillah shel shachris, and the rest of the tefillah shel shachris. Let's look at kriya shema and tefillah. They are echad b'derech klal. He's a kavana echad b'derech klal. If you looked at them in generally, you would see they all have one direction they're trying to go. V'chein b'kol ha-tefillos the mincha. Also the same thing in mincha. Every single mincha. Mincha dechol. Kavana echad lehem. Each one of them has the same direction that it's trying to go in. V'chein kol kriya shema v'chatefillah shel arvis. Also the same thing is true of the kriya shema during the daytime and during the nighttime. Dechol. Kavana echadhem. So, excuse me, I did read it wrong. It says kol kriya shema v'chatefillah shel arvis. When we talk about arvis, arvis is always trying to accomplish the same thing. So he said the kol tefillah chakras parts of echad. So it's one system of processing light. L'kach yesh bekulam mahalak echad begavana achad. So they're all going the same direction. Became called kriya shema. Every time you say the kriya shema, parts of echad. Kriya shema is a light processing system also, and it has one general direction that it wants to bring that light. V'chein b'kulam, also all of them. Let's just see if we can get this in. Let's see, get this place. He said, kavana mahalak echad. They all have one kavana. They all have one way to travel. V'chein b'kol tefillos, mincha, arvis. Oh, you see this in every single tefillah. Whether it's mincha, arvis, shekol sug tefillah. Every single category tefillah, parts of echad hu bechlalos. Looking at it in general, every shachros, every mincha, every mile, every marav is all trying to travel to accomplish the same goal. V'harak bepratis. It's only when you looked at them in more detail. Yesh chiluk. There you could start seeing that there's a difference in what you're trying to accomplish in the different prayers. Shebekol yom hayichud shebo hu bebechina acheres. Because every day, the yichud that can be created, which allows for all the purification that the world needs, is going to be in a different bechina. Ukagon biyom rishon hu bebechinas chesed. So the first day of the week is the aspect of chesed. The v'sheni bebechinas gevura, and then the second day is the gevina. It's the bechina of gevura, and the shlisha would be teferis. So whatever teferis is, and imagine light flowing through these channels, but each of the channels is slightly different. So as the day changes, the kavan of what you're trying to accomplish is the same, but the floor is not. So then also you have chilukim, differences between what month of the year is it, v'sheni, and the second one, and the chodesh v'shana, also the year. What year is it? About parts of haklali shall call tefillah chakras echadu. Now those are the differences that we talked about, whether it's the year, month, day, so which time of the day, all of that, those are details. But in general, when you come to each particular one, above the parts of haklali, if you look at it in general, shall call tefillah chakras, all of the tefillahs of chakras want to go one place. Echad hu. Parts of shall call tefillahs mincha, same thing in mincha, even though the tefillahs themselves may be different, and the days are different, and the months are different, and the hours are different. V'chein yesh call tefillah, v'chein yesh call tefillahs arvis, same thing in arvis. V'chein b'kriya shema, also kriya shema. L'kach sheyom heim shavim heim. So therefore, all the chakras in the world are the same. He says they have one kavana overall of all of them that they are trying to accomplish, and I hope that we're going to be able to learn what these kavanas are. But l'chem shavim heim b'kavana seichem b'kol hayom. So they're the same every single day. V'chein al derek zeh b'shavasa. So you could say like this, let's come to Shabbos, let's talk chakras, the chakras of Shabbos. It's going to be the same. Every single Shabbos, that is what its kavana is, its direction is. Same thing in Rosh Chodesh, also in Yom Tov. So he said, v'havein zeh ma'od, this is something you really got to think about. He said the Beklalos, Shavim Haim, called the Shavasa. So if you want to talk about general, we're going in the same direction every single Shabbos. We're elevating the Shabbos. Shehem Beklalos, parts of Echad, because the light processing process is the same. V'chein called Rosh Chodesh, the same thing every single new moon. V'chein I'll call Yom Tov, every Yom Tov. B'fnei Atzmo, if you look at them, they're just in general by themselves, they're going the same direction. The Bekal Shabbos is Kavana Achaz Bechem, because every Shabbos is the same Kavana. V'chein Bekal Rosh Chodesh, every single Rosh Chodesh. V'chein Kol HaMoadim, also the holidays. Bekal Shana Chozrim, and every single year, They come back to the same place. Chosrim al osam akavonos v'rak bepratios yesh bechem shinui partsufim. So, generally speaking, all Shabbases, all Yomim Tovim want to go the same direction. Question is, there are detailed differences. So what we're talking about is the changes that in these kavanos in general are specific, but because they are yichudim that are created as a result of these tefillos. Now he mentions right before at the very end of this drush, he brings up this idea. I'm going to look at a little bit down below. We're going to run over time a little bit today, just maybe 2 minutes. He said, with drush tefillin, why do you put it on at night, in the daytime and not at night? This is all going to be explained as we go along. Let's just look at these few lines here that we have in the Sheva Kavanah. It's an interesting idea, so we should understand what he means to say. He says, we're going on where it says, V'drasha tefillin, lama ana manecha b'tefillah b'yom v'layla. Now, he's not coming to answer that question. So he says, Nizboyer Sham Hadrasha Zeh. So there's another place in the Shar Gavanos. It says like this: Sham B'drasha Tefillin. He says the 5th drush. He named Nizboyer at Leno. So this is the quote. He says, explained by us, Ki B'kol Tefillah V'Tefillah. Every single davening, Niknasim HaMochim. Mochim come in. V'achar Tefillin. V'achar Tefillah Chozim Mistalchim. They go back. They leave. In other words, after Shachris, you can, during Shachris, you have a chance to come tremendous panemius. But when Shachris is over, it's gone. V'roi sheteda, so you need to know like this. Ki ha'inyan eno kapshuta. What you might think is like this. The mochin come in, the mochin leave. Lomer shacham mochim atzman shaboim, that the mochin like a Ferris wheel. The mochin come in, heim mistalchim, and then they go back. And then they come back down, the wheel comes back down to the bottom again, and they come every single tefillah. It's a Ferris wheel. But this is what we want to tell you. This is not right. That's not what it is. It's not the mochin. They come back in different positions. Of course, there are different positions. But he says, no. He says, B'kol tefillah b'tefillah, Boim mochin chadashim, new mochin that were never there before, gemurim lagamri, completely and totally new. Bavur ki ein lecha kol tefillah, but tefillah, because you only find that in between every single tefillah, you will never find shelo yischadesh lemala or shefa chadash, because every tefillah, which is mayim nukvin, is bringing everything up from the bottom, will always bring down something new, some new shefa from up above. Lo roi zeh ka roi zeh, so one day is not like the next. There's no tefillah like the next tefillah in terms of the chiddush that's coming. Nimsiki b'b'kol yom v'yom, so it comes out every single day, but b'kol tefillah and every tefillah. Boim mochim acherim chadashim, the gamri come completely new mochim. This is Baruch Fleischman at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel.